Before we start today's video, I just want to let you know, you can get your free ebook today. Simply subscribe and visit denmarkexplained.com/free to download your exclusive copy, packed with insights, tips, and stories you won't find anywhere else. It's our way of saying thank you for joining our community. Don't miss out, hit that subscribe button and start exploring today. Alright, let's get into today's video. Have you ever wondered why Danes are suddenly putting so much money into defense industry stocks? What does that say about living in Denmark today, and how could it affect your move, your investments and your understanding of Danish society? Denmark, long known for its peace-oriented values and green investment culture, is undergoing a quiet financial shift. As Europe's security landscape grows more uncertain, even traditionally cautious Danish investors are rethinking what responsible investing means. Defense stocks, once taboo, are now finding their way into both personal portfolios and pension funds. It's a striking change for a country that once prided itself on avoiding the arms industry. The question many are now asking is, can sustainability and security really coexist in Denmark's new investment reality? Before we continue, consider helping us out by hitting like, subscribe, and share this video. Remember, you can buy our ebooks on denmarkexplained.com/products or click the link in the description. Sustainability and green energy. Viking heritage. Welfare system. New Nordic food. Welcome to Denmark Explained, your front row seat to the hidden gems, quirky traditions, and powerful stories that make Danish culture truly unforgettable.
For decades, Denmark was known for peace, sustainability, and responsible investing. The idea of putting money into weapons or defense companies felt completely out of place, almost unthinkable. But something has changed. Quietly, yet steadily, private investors have started looking in a new direction. Imagine this. Just a few years ago, less than 1 in 1,000 Danish stock holdings were tied to defense. Today, it's closer to 1 in 70. That's a 17-fold jump in only 6 years. What happened? Part of the answer lies in Europe's shifting sense of security. With tensions rising across borders and headlines filled with talk of preparedness and protection, investors are starting to see defense not as a moral question, but as a practical one. Some even call it responsible investing for an uncertain world. Banks and pension funds are also catching on. Several have expanded their portfolios to include companies producing not only weapons but also advanced technologies, cybersecurity, aerospace, and surveillance systems. In other words, defense is being reframed as innovation, not aggression. Still, this is not a story about abandoning ethics. Many investors continue to avoid controversial arms, choosing instead dual-use technologies that serve both civilian and military needs. But the direction is clear. Defense is no longer taboo. This quiet transformation reveals something deeper, a change in how people view security, responsibility, and the future itself. What was once unthinkable is now becoming mainstream. And that says a lot about where Europe, and its investors, are heading next.
Across the Nordic region, a financial shift is taking shape. Once, investors focused almost entirely on green energy, technology, and consumer safety. But now, a new sector is entering the conversation: defense. It's not just a passing trend, it's becoming part of the mainstream investment landscape. Here's what's surprising. Some pension funds have lifted long-standing bans on investing in defense-related companies. Their reasoning? It's no longer just about profit, it's about responsibility. In a world where security feels less certain, ignoring the sector suddenly seems unrealistic. One fund even described it as the most responsible thing to do. Even younger investors are showing interest. For them, defense doesn't only mean weapons. It means technology, satellites, cybersecurity, and advanced systems that protect both people and infrastructure. What used to feel like a controversial topic is now being reframed as innovation and resilience. Financial institutions are adapting quickly. Several have added hundreds of new defense-linked companies to their investment universe. That's not a small update, it's a major statement about where priorities are shifting. Still, not everyone is comfortable with the change. Many funds continue to exclude certain weapons manufacturers, offering investors a choice between strict sustainability and broader, security-focused portfolios. This evolving mindset tells a bigger story. It's about how nations once known for neutrality are learning to balance ethics with reality. And as the world grows more unpredictable, investors, both big and small, are quietly preparing for a future where stability itself has become an investment.
Here's a question to think about. If you were living in Denmark and considering investing, would you A. Lean into this rising trend of defense sector stocks as part of your portfolio? B. Stick with more traditional sectors, energy, healthcare, consumer goods, until you feel more comfortable? Respond in the comments below. I'd love to know which side you'd pick.
Planning a trip to Denmark? Or maybe you're moving there soon? Don't just Google your way through it. Let DenmarkExplained.com be your shortcut to a smoother, smarter, and way more fun experience. At DenmarkExplained.com/products, you'll find itineraries, ready-made plans that turn confusion into unforgettable days, eBooks, packed with local insights, cultural tips, and everyday know-how. No boring history lessons, just stuff that actually helps. Expat guides, moving to Denmark? Get the info you wish someone told you before you landed. Everything's digital, everything's simple, and everything's designed to make Denmark feel less confusing and way more cozy. So skip the stress and get the guides that explain Denmark clearly, cleverly, and in plain English. Check it out now at DenmarkExplained.com/products. Your trip, our tips. Let's make it amazing.
If you're enjoying this video, then consider to help us out and hit like, subscribe, and share this video. Remember, you can buy our ebooks on DenmarkExplained.com/products or click the link in the description.
Alright, we've explored the what and the why. Now let's look at how this is showing up in funds and institutions in Denmark. While individual investors are making headlines with their growing interest in defense stocks, the real transformation is happening at the institutional level. Pension funds, mutual funds, and large investment managers are beginning to adjust their strategies, and the pace is faster than many expected. Consider this. In just over a year, holdings in defense and aerospace companies have doubled within some of the largest funds. That's not a small uptick, it's a clear signal that defense is moving from niche to mainstream. But what's driving this change? Security concerns are one part of the story, but so is opportunity. Dual-use technologies, like cybersecurity systems, aerospace innovations, and surveillance solutions, offer growth potential while remaining ethically navigable for cautious investors. Funds are also evolving in their approach. Previously, military-related exclusions were blanket rules. Now, institutions differentiate between controversial weaponry and dual-use technologies. This subtle shift allows investors to participate in the sector without compromising their values. It's a careful balancing act, and one that reflects a broader global trend, integrating security, innovation, and responsibility in investment decisions. For newcomers or anyone living in the region, this matters. Your pension, insurance, or retirement savings may now include defense-related exposure, whether you realize it or not. It's not just about headline returns, it's about how the investment culture itself is evolving. This change also sends a strong message internationally. It shows that even in traditionally cautious financial markets, institutions can move quickly to align with both global trends and emerging realities. As the world becomes more uncertain, these shifts highlight how deeply security and investment are now intertwined, shaping not only portfolios but the way society thinks about risk and preparedness. So, what does all of this mean for you, especially if you're considering living or investing in Denmark? Let's explore the implications. If you're thinking about moving, working, or investing in the region, the rise of defense-related investments is more than just a financial headline. It's a window into the country's mindset. Individual and institutional investors alike are shifting their portfolios, reflecting concerns about security, technology, and long-term stability. That trend tells you something important. Residents here think ahead, blending pragmatism with ethics in ways you might not expect. For newcomers, this can feel surprising. One day, you might expect investment conversations to be about consumer goods, green energy, or tech startups. The next, defense and dual-use technologies are part of the discussion. It's a reminder that living in a place means understanding not just culture and lifestyle, but also how people approach risk and responsibility. What does this mean for your money? Pension funds and savings vehicles may now include exposure to defense or aerospace sectors. That doesn't mean you have to invest in them personally, but it's important to recognize how the local financial ecosystem is evolving. Some funds still offer options that exclude certain military-related segments, giving you choices aligned with your own values. This shift also reflects a broader societal perspective. Security, technology, and innovation are increasingly linked, and residents view them as interconnected priorities. By observing these trends, you gain insight into how the country navigates uncertainty while maintaining stability. Ultimately, understanding this landscape gives you context. It shows a society that is forward-looking, pragmatic, and globally aware. For anyone relocating or planning a long-term stay, that perspective is invaluable. It informs your financial decisions, career considerations, and even how you relate to your new community. In other words, the rise of defense investment isn't just numbers, it's a signal about the way this society thinks about the future.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click on the playlist to your right to see more about living, investing and thriving in Denmark. I'll see you in the next video.